Hello ladies and gentlemen, and today we are back on my channel, and today I thought we would do a little sort of custom LEGO review. The majority of these are custom characters, some I just did a little work on, which I'll go through. The custom characters are the homemade Spider Suit, Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Noir, Scarlet Spider in his full red attire and black, Agent Venom, and that's it. And the ones that I touched up are the rest, so Miles Morales, normal Spider-Man or Ultimate Spider-Man, and Black Spider-Man and Spider-Gwen. I haven't touched up Spider-Man Homecoming suit. I just needed someone else to fit in or fill in so that everything was even, which I just realized that it's still not, but that's okay. Moving on. Okay, so first up off, we will start with the original suit. The only things that I sort of did was add the touch-up on the arms, and I did do the boots, but I really did not like how they looked, and didn't have enough time to redo them for the showcase. I did the little belt pouch, not belt pouch, but the bit that sort of angles down onto the top of his waist, and I also followed that waistband all the way around, which does go on both sides. It's sort of difficult, but yeah, goes all the way around, and yeah, that's him. I don't really know what to talk about with him, but yeah, let's move on. Okay, so the first character that we're going to look at today is Cade, also known as Scarlet Spider, and there are actually two Scarlet Spiders. One is Ben Reilly, which has the blue sort of tank top hoodie, with the rest of his suit being red, and I've just got this one today because I think I prefer this sort of suit. First thing I started with was the eyes here. So the eyes right here, and yeah, I think they turned out rather pointy and good. I then moved on to the black on the upper shoulders, so I took off the arms, and then painted that, and then put the arms back on so that I could figure out where I wanted to place the shoulders. Then came the symbol, which still looks bad to me. Yeah, I found the symbol to do was really hard. The back one isn't as bad, but it still looks pretty bad. But yeah, what I also did was, after I did the full black on the upper torso, I then repainted the bottom here, and did that sort of the curve, and then waited till that dried, and then carved out the red spider. He's got black fingers, so I sort of added them on both sides. And he's also got some black shoes. I don't know if you can see them, but yeah, they go all the way around. They even go on the insides. So yeah, that is my Scarlet Spider. Alright, so the next character I have is Agent Venom, aka Flash Thompson, and I think this came out relatively well from the waist down and the arms and the head. Once again, the spider symbols are shockingly hard, but that's because they're so small and intricate. There really wasn't a lot of reference photos for this guy. I found one, and that's what I tried to base it off, but then I really didn't like how the symbol turned out, so I scratched both of them off and redid this one the other day, actually. I think the eyes came out really well, and as we all know, Spider-Man, when he gets the black suit, which is the symbiote, sort of takes his whole suit like this. I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, so what I actually did with these pads here up on the corners of his shoulders was actually cut a minifig hand, the fingers off, and rotated them and glued them onto the side. So yeah, I think that turned they turned out really, really well. This wasn't the first time I tried to do this. I did this with an upgraded Deathstroke character from DC. And yeah, so overall, I also did the boots. The silvers around the legs were my idea, really. And yeah, so Tilt, Agent Venom. Alright, our next character is Spider-Man Noir, and his deal is in Shattered Dimensions. It doesn't really talk about his backstory, but pretty much this is an alternate version of Peter Parker. Same thing after Uncle Ben died. Aunt May almost dies, and so does MJ. She doesn't actually die, but they almost die. And in the comics, Joe Fix and Hammerhead. Joe Fix is pretty much a Hulk character. He's not the Hulk, but he's close. They're both villains. Hammerhead has titanium steel or something like that in his head. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it's not titanium steel. That doesn't really make sense. But it's a plate in his forehead that is really, really hard, and he hits stuff with it, and pretty much it explodes. Not his head, the things that he hits with it. Not the point. So, Spider-Man Noir was a really interesting character for me, but I think I'll go back and redo his chest. Not saying that it's bad, I just think if I added an electrical tape jacket, it would look better. The thing I started with was I did this grey line, and then went from this side grey line all the way across to the other grey line, just past it, and then straight down, or sort of on an angle, and then I filled in all of these buttons and then put a black dot in all of them to simulate his buttons. Now these pinstripes are all on his legs, and I actually, if you can see in the legs, that they actually have electrical tape boot cuffs around them, which I thought was really cool. And then I sort of added these grey boots onto him, and the grey lines on the top of his mask. And yeah, this was a really simple character to do. If you guys would like me to do a process video on any of these characters, I'll try to. They might come out better, they might come out worse, but I'm slowly getting better at them. But yeah. Alright, next character. Alright, so the next character is Black Spider-Man. As I said, I only touched this character up by adding the white web shooter things on the back of his hand on both sides. And really, I just repainted the center symbol in a sort of brighter white, and same with his eyes. They sort of look yellow. I have no idea why. I actually think it makes it sort of look cool. Not really sure. But yeah, so just a quick one. Black Spider-Man. This actually used to be a Venom character, but I didn't really like the face of a Venom, so I took the head off and put on another black head and then painted the eyes. And now it's Black Spider-Man, which makes sense because Venom is a big dude, not just a tiny one. Anyway, yeah, so next figure. Okay, the last Shattered Dimensions one, which is Spider-Man 2099. I really, really like how this character came out. The eyes took forever, and if you can sort of see, let's just try and get this thing to focus. If you can sort of see his eyes, they have tiny, tiny, tiny black lines on them. Yeah, there we go. Not black lines, but the carved out lines, which came out really, really well. I'm proud of the mask. Originally, when I got this figure, it was black. Not this actual figure, but the figure that I was going to base this off was black, and I didn't like it. So, in the game, either Shattered Dimensions or Edge of Time, his suit is black, but it has sort of electricity going through it, or some sort of energy going through it, and it looks really cool. So it sort of looks like it is technology, but it sort of looks like energy surges just going through the suit. It makes the suit look blue. So I really prefer the dark blue to the black. I mean, the black looks awesome in the game, but to me, as a Lego figure, I think it looks better in blue. Now, the symbol was really hard. I think I'm going to redo these two legs, because they don't come out as far as they should, or they don't come down as fast as they should, sorry. So they should come around to about just under where they begin. They sort of go out and then back in. But the eyes came out really well, so did that tiny little nose there. And these two lines on both sides came out really well. And those, yeah. I didn't add the sort of fins on, because I didn't know how I was going to do that, because I don't have anything like Green Stuff or Procreate. I tried to mimic the symbol on the other side. I think the front one did turn out a lot better than the back one. And replaying the game, I realized now that it's actually a tiny, tiny white version of this symbol right in the center of his back. So I might go back over that. Doesn't really have anything impressive going on with the legs. I just added on these two little red dots, which aren't in the game, but sort of bring it back to the theme. And I thought it made it look a little better. So yeah. Thank you, and next figure. Alright, so the next figure is Miles Morales, and pretty much all I did with this is add on the tiny red shoe boot things. They don't go on the front, but they do go around all of the sides and on the bottom of the feet. So they do go all the way around, which I think is good or interesting. And same with his hands. They don't go inside the hands, because if you put things in Lego minifig hands and they have paint on them, it's just going to get scratched off. So in the TV series, he's got red fingertips and the rest of it's black. So I'm either thinking of giving him full black hands and then painting on the red tips, or doing it like this. And yeah, those two things, so the legs and the hands, are the only things that I really touched up on, because Lego did a fantastic job at printing this figure. The only thing that I would like to do is the head webs and connect them up to the front. But yeah, right, next figure. Alright, so next figure, the Spider-Man Homecoming homemade suit. Now, a lot of people use the sand blue arms and legs, whereas I didn't really think of doing that, and I also sort of like the light blue with the red. But yeah, so let's get on to the 3D eyes. How I did that was I cut off the little sort of hose pieces, and I cut the ends off and glued them on to the face, and then just painted in the eyes. With the symbol, I just did a generic sort of spider with the center line going all the way down, and it's just a hood. So yeah, the hands were interesting. They weren't the best, but they worked with what I wanted to use it for. So pretty much just grabbed the dark red, because in the thing he's got dark, well, he's got biker, like cycling gloves, cycling fingerless gloves, and this side, the non-palm side, has red on it. And over here are sort of like web shooters. They weren't my best job. I think I need to paint silver on them and stuff, but yeah. And then I just painted the boots red. So yeah, overall I'm happy with this figure. I think I can do a better job, but yeah, because I forgot to add the pockets. But yeah. Cool. Next upgraded figure. Alrighty guys, so the last Spider-Man figure is Spider-Gwen, and a friend actually gave me the actual figure, but the feet and waist wasn't done. And what I mean by the waist is these two tiny white lines here and here weren't really done. So I redid them and painted on the boots, or the shoes, and I think the painted on shoes looks so much better. In here, so if I just take off her head, because that's what you want. In here, the actual chest piece and the white on the hips, all were really faded white, so I just painted on them on both sides. And I actually think it came out relatively good and looks good. So yeah. So let's just put her head back on, because a headless minifigure, yeah, that works totally. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any requests on characters that you'd like me to do, just comment down below. I've also got Rick and Morty and a Meeseeks coming. I've also got a Solar Suit Superman coming, and yeah, so I'll show you all of them in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, let's go to the Alrighty guys, so that was my custom and upgraded review on my figures. If you would like me to do any more figures that you would want, just comment down below. I know I just said that, but yeah. Hope you all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, bye!